Welcome back to the Geeky Kitchen. We are so excited to be sharing our favorite traditions and really celebrating how everyone is handling the holidays this year. We feel like there's so many different ways that we can celebrate, so let's embrace them all through the different cultures and the traditions that we are all experiencing. We have two wonderful friends here, Elena and her beautiful mom Roberta, who are the queens of the Italian kitchen. We have briefly had you guys join us for a cooking class, and I absolutely fell in love. We share the same love for the kitchen and carrying those traditions and just getting our families in the kitchen. And so this was an instant bond that we all created, and we hope and pray that when we are able to offer classes, these two can join us as we celebrate things in the kitchen. So tell us a little about you guys, about yourselves, and how you guys celebrate in the kitchen.
We are always celebrating in the kitchen. Yes, we're always cooking. So there's our little ones in the kitchen, there's grandma's in the kitchen, nonna. We're all in there together, kind of making our own and creating our traditions.
And everyone, of course, has his own ideas, so sometimes is quite animated.
We love everyone bringing their ideas, for sure.
Yes.
When I reached out to you and I said, what are some of the things that you guys do every Christmas? We kind of first were talking about desserts, because generally here at Orson Geeky, we love the desserts, we love the treats. And you're like, well, we could do this, but truly our most, like, when we consider Christmas and how we celebrate, it's through lasagna.
Yep.
And I love this.
Yep, traditionally called pasta al forno.
Okay.
So, which means pasta cooked in the oven. The lasagna noodles are called lasagna, but the dish itself, when it's all prepared, is called pasta al forno. Traditionally, during the Christmas season, when there's lots of gatherings normally and things like that, this is something that you will find in most Italian tables.
And it's a dish that is nice on this occasion, because you can prepare the night before, the day before, and put in the fridge or in the freezer, and it's ready to go. So it alleviates a little bit the pain to have everything ready the day. So that is wonderful.
We love that.
Yes.
Yeah. So we have a few things pre-made, so that we made. And in here we have sauteed onions with olive oil and spinach. So this is a nice mixture where all of the water from the spinach is all the way cooked down.
Yeah. And you guys like to have everything kind of ready. To go. And
so everything, by the
place.
time we're, assembling the pasta, we have our sugo made. This is very easy to make. It's just pure canned tomatoes, a very good quality Italian canned tomatoes, onions, olive oil, and basil. And that's all you need. And salt. And using really pure ingredients like whole milk ricotta, whole milk mozzarella that are high quality will really, with a few extra dollars, take your regular dish to the next level.
Yeah, and the Parmigiano also, it's a very important, because of the shred Parmigiano that you find on the store is shred is not fine enough, and you lose some of the flavor when it's shredded in this way. And so we recommend really good Parmigiano, because the taste is definitely distinct and better.
This is not a difficult meal. I've had so many people make it and love it. They love that they can put it in the fridge. They love that they can put it in the freezer. And instead of pulling out a store-bought frozen lasagna, you pull out your own and you just bake it, and all you do is add 10 minutes to the baking time. So.
Do you think by not adding the meat, sometimes you can also enjoy these flavors a little bit more intense? I feel like sometimes meat can be like this trying to be the star.
Yeah.
And so tasting the ricotta and the beautiful tomatoes that I think sometimes those are the things that allows it to be the shining star.
And they're so sweet naturally.
Yes.
Yeah. So the ricotta also, we prefer the all-meal milk ricotta instead of skim.
No skim here. This is like your meal. This is what's keeping you full and getting you on through your day. So don't skim out there.
A lot of the low-fat stuff has extra added ingredients to make it more full. But some dietary restrictions, if you have those, you know, go with that. So
You ready to start? Okay,
yeah,
let's do
okay.
it.
So here we have our sugo that is made already, and our spinach, which is cooked.
Come in here.
And now we're gonna make.
Yep.
So now we're gonna make the ricotta mixture. We add 1 egg.
Were these from your garden or from your house, by the way? They were
The
like beautifully yellow.
So no, but we get
Farm
the
fresh
good
eggs,
farm fresh.
yes.
Yes, we do, because again, look at this yellow color. I mean,
Yes.
it's just so worth it, you know. So we're just incorporating this here. You'll see how quickly this comes together. And if your kids like to help in the kitchen, this is actually a fun one to do. Not super young, but just at the right age where they might, you know, maybe 8 or so.
Yes.
They like to experiment. This is something that you don't find traditionally in lasagna, but in Italy we add nutmeg. Yeah, noce moscata. Okay, and I'm gonna add just a little bit of salt and pepper. And again, all of the exact proportions are in the recipe, so we're just gonna kind of show you the method.
And we add a little bit of Parmigiano.
Yep, so this is gonna be your creamy mixture.
How often are you cooking by a recipe?
We start with the recipe,
Okay.
but after we just our creativity goes
Yeah,
and
I
we
love
add a
it.
bit. And the fact is that now Elena, she has this tradition to where you write down the recipe, because in my house I never cook the same thing.
Yeah.
I cook the same dish but different versions,
Yes.
because it's
And I'm sure that was hard for you to sit down and like, oh wait, I need to write this down for you to share.
That's a part of the reason why I started this food blog, is because
Yes.
my nonna
Yeah,
was much
my
the same
mom.
way. How are we doing this? And everything I learned so much by the feel, by the touch, by the taste, by the texture. But that's really hard for other people who are non-cooks to recreate.
Sure.
And that's why I think that all of these recipes are very achievable, and they're delicious and authentic as well.
Yes.
So we are starting with a rectangular pan, and we're putting a little bit of the sugo on the bottom.
And tell me again what was in this.
So this is just onions sauteed in olive oil with the good quality red fine ripe tomatoes and basil.
And basil. Okay.
That's it. Salt.
And you sugo?
Sugo.
Okay.
Yeah, sugo salsa.
I'm gonna show up and have
Salsa.
all the right names for this.
So here we have the lasagna, and they get carted in because they're so important.
We pre-cooked these. We'll cut to that. Actually, we'll cut to it right now so you can see the process, because I think it's very fun. Roberta talks about the pan and the water and the timing, and so we'll cut to that.
the water is boiling. We put salt in it, and I cook 5 at a time, because of 5 it will make a layer.
Okay. And
So-
you're making sure that they're not stacked like
Yeah, you're just-
too deep, right?
Yeah, it just one at a time, and boiling in this way. The noodles, they are free to move a little bit, and from time to time I just make sure that they don't stick on each other.
You said you cook them till they're al dente, right?
Yeah.
So is there a texture you're looking for, or?
You know, it's experience.
Yes.
You know, your own.
Yeah.
And when they
But
Just,
as it's kind of
yeah.
draping, is that
Yeah,
what you're looking
it's
for?
like,
Okay.
yeah, in this way you feel that they are soft but not mushy or anything.
Oh, here we go. So you mentioned, because there's other liquids, and if you decide to refrigerate or freeze
Yeah.
it beforehand, that also prevents it from getting too soggy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I love
Right.
this. I love this technique. And tell me about why you preferred this oval shaped pan.
Because the oval shape accommodate in the horizontal way the lasagna. In this way, it's easier to take them out. They don't break if you have a long pot,
like a tall one.
a tall one. And since you know, Le Creuset has this shape, I am very happy to.
We might as well use it, right?
Also because Barilla, that is a Barilla brand, has a very narrow shape of lasagna pasta, but other brand they have a more rectangular and large, and so it will be really difficult to have a tall pan. So if you have the rectangular a little bit shorter, you can use a you know, pan, but make sure that the pasta just goes into the pan without any breaking or folding.
Okay.
Yeah. I cook in a batch, put in a wet kitchen towel.
Okay.
And in this way, they are ready after to assemble the lasagna.
And this is just keeping them from drying out?
Yeah,
Okay.
a little bit, and stick.
I love that because there's been so many times where I've cooked pasta, but my sauce or something's not ready, and then I go to use it and it's all clumped together, or I'm like, oh, I guess we're having a cake of spaghetti. So this is such a great idea. And now we're back with the pre-cooked lasagna, and we're ready to go. A little more Parmesan in there.
So,
Oh yeah, Parmigiano goes in every layer. And,
I love it.
these are cooked al dente, meaning that they're just a little bit underdone. Do you see how they're not falling apart? We also use a brand, Barilla or Del Cecco, which is Italian. Yeah,
so Barilla
a
is
little bit harder.
This one's I've seen. in
yeah,
all
you find in
grocery
all the
stores.
grocery store. This one is a little bit more artisan, and so
The kind of wheat and the process of making the pasta is different.
Okay.
So there is a difference between your 99-cent store brand pasta and one of these brands.
Okay.
You'll find that they are much more see-through and they cook really fast, and when they boil they turn into mush really fast, whereas these are made with a harder grain, different wheat, they're cut differently, and it makes them hold their shape a lot better, and they also taste better.
So you normally mix this
Now
together.
you can also do it separate.
Okay.
You can mix this together and then you'll layer that,
Okay.
or you can do a little bit of the spinach and a little bit of the cheese.
kind of
Now,
patch.
kind of patches.
Okay.
Now, if this, when I do it this way, the kids can't pick out the spinach. Now,
Yes.
so
I feel
There
like
you
when
go.
the kids see it being assembled, be like, it comes together. I can't make some without.
No,
So,
no.
There's no excuse there.
So usually I divide it into kind of
Okay.
the spinach ricotta. In this way, I make sure that at the end I don't run out of.
Yeah. You want that top layer to have as much as the bottom
Yeah,
layer.
kind of.
I'm notorious
This
for
is
just
our-
dumping, so.
yeah. Here we're gonna layer with the mozzarella.
And Parmesan.
Okay, Parmigiano again. Spinach in there. Freshly ground.
Yes, always.
And on to the next. And I kind of just spoon all the way across like that, and we're gonna, and you can just smell the freshness and the basil.
Well, and sometimes when I've opened up a can of tomatoes, it does have a bitter.
Acidic.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they add citric acid to for freshness. Here she comes with the fork. Here we go.
As we were getting ready, you
Correct.
did say, I do need a fork. Is this your favorite kitchen tool?
Yes.
You can do anything
Yes.
with a fork.
Yes. Correcting all my
Not correct, just
mistake.
helping.
adding.
Just helping because
There's so many things that are lost as we like see things go from
Yeah.
family member to family member, and the things that like we haven't seen placed importance on. So I think sometimes like her recreating these and doing these things is also, sharing part of you with her family and with the world. And I think it's so important to remember, like, there's
Yeah.
a person behind these recipes.
It's kind of lost in translation.
Yes, absolutely. And you've had to really come through and recreate these here in the US, where you had a recipe that was handed down to you, but now you've done your spin on it, and to seeing it go through these other family members is so important.
a little bit.
Okay, Parmigiano.
Don't forget.
Don't forget. Little.
And again, the mozzarella, you don't want to go too crazy with it in the layers.
Okay.
I like it a little bit less, just enough to add, but even if you skip a layer with the mozzarella,
It's fine.
it's okay.
Is it a texture?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think it's just a texture. You just don't want globs of like cheese,
Mhm.
you want it to be kind of delicate and spread throughout.
Well, everything is so fine. You've got your ricotta and your
Yeah.
Parmesan, it's so that, yes, I agree. You've
Yeah.
got everything all layered.
Yep,
Beautiful.
we're ready
To go.
to do the top. So I just reserved a little bit to do a little bit of, this will just make it kind of bubble, and you'll see that red color on the top. That looks so nice. And then we're gonna top, this is where I'm a little more generous with the cheese. We're just gonna cover it. So here I add the rest of my Parmigiano.
The colors in this are
Here.
stunning. I feel like this screams
And-
Christmas.
Yes,
Like
yes,
the reds and
totally.
the whites and the greens. It's
Yes,
so fun
it's
to-
also the Italian flag.
Yay!
So, there you go. That is it. So this you can cover with plastic wrap
Okay.
and put it in the fridge for up to a day.
Okay.
You don't want to leave it probably more than a day and a half, or
Just
it
'cause
will
everything
just
is
start
gonna
to
get
get,
soggy.
it's gonna
Okay.
start to get soggy.
Okay.
Make it the night before, but you can cover it with foil and put it straight in the freezer.
Okay.
It'll freeze great for up to a month.
Okay.
And then you pull it out, you just add about 10-15 extra minutes to the cooking time when frozen, and you're good.
Such a delicious dish. Should we go throw it in the oven?
So, yes,
Okay, let's
let's
go through
do
the oven.
it.
We'll be back.
Okay.
So we put this in the oven. Tell me temperature, time. What are we looking for?
So 400, and if it's just like we made it and you're putting it in without freezing, then it will be about 30 minutes.
Okay.
20,
25.
25. When it boils, it
Starts to
it's
bubble.
ready. But you have to put in the oven with the aluminum foil
Yep.
on top.
Okay. And
In
the
this
last
way it
little
doesn't
bit,
dry.
you take it off, and then it gets nice and brown.
You put a grill,
The broil.
the broil
Okay.
for a few minutes or whatever it needs it to be kind of a little bit broiled,
Okay.
and it's done.
So you can have that nice top. So remember the little pockets of cheese that we added and the ricotta and the spinach that we put on top? That's what
Oh, it smells amazing.
that
We keep-
looks like.
We're in the store and people are coming over wondering when lunch is ready.
So,
This is beautiful.
yes, we just.
And I grabbed a brownie spatula, but Roberta says no, you
No.
need a deeper spatula to not ruin
Yes.
the layers and all
Okay,
of the
now
things
Heather,
you do.
are you an edge or are you a middle?
I love an edge.
Okay,
What are
yes.
you guys?
Oh,
I love
Well,
both.
Yes. I love getting a little bit of the
Crisp.
crispiness and just having some texture, but I would never turn down a piece of lasagna, so
Yes.
I would
Yes.
take it all. Oh, first off, that steam.
So,
But look
There
at
you
that,
go.
Casey. Oh my goodness. This is like so beautiful, so stunning. I cannot wait to dive into this. Always
Yes.
here and ready.
and if you
He's
wait,
rubbing his stomach over there.
and if you wait like a few minutes before cutting,
Okay.
not right after it
Okay,
comes
yeah.
It's
out,
better,
it will
yeah.
hold a little bit more of its
Okay.
shape, but we really just couldn't wait. So,
Oh, I love it. So as you guys are sharing this tradition and sharing these recipes, what is something that you hope that people do this Christmas season, you know, to honor this and to carry this tradition?
Make it with love.
Okay.
As I always say in all my recipes, made with amore.
I love it.
Made with love.
I love it. So
Buon Natale, buone feste.
oh, such a beautiful way of wrapping it up. You tell these stories, you share the shortcuts, but also the reasons why you do things. Everything's available on your blog, right?
Yes.
So tell us where we can find you on social and wherever we
So
can follow along.
Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest is Mama Mia Mangia, and the website is mamamiamangia.com. Mama Mia Mangia, manja means eat.
Oh, okay.
So Mama Mia Mangia.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So
Well, thanks so much for both of you being here, being a part of this celebration that we're doing this season, and just thank you for
Yes.
bringing this
Thank
into the
you.
world.
Thank you.
so much for having us.
Thank you.
Go home and make some of this.
Yes.